Hello everybody and welcome to this week's webinar, and we're absolutely honoured to be joined by Paulina Duczman, one of our brand ambassadors. And Paulina's story is an absolutely amazing story. Please, as you join us, please go into the chat and say where you're coming from, say hello to us. We're looking forward to seeing you all again. And as I said a little earlier, it just takes a couple of minutes to get going because we're streaming live on Facebook as well. So we're just getting live. So we'll say hello to all of our Facebook friends now in a couple of moments. But we are absolutely honored to have our brand ambassador, Paulina Duczman, with us today. Paulina, we had dinner there recently in Dublin, and she has an amazing story, is an amazing photographer and an amazing person. So we really look forward to welcoming her in shortly. So my team will just let me know in a couple of moments when we're live on Facebook. And we'll get going with the interview then. How we're going to do it today, how we're going to structure it, is that we will, when we have everybody in, we're going to play a short video that just captures some of Paulina's images. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring Paulina in and we're going to do the interview. So if you have any questions at any time, just put them into the chat. We will deal with them. We have already had about 40, 50 questions in from a whole lot of photographers that they wanted to ask Paulina. So we've taken some of them, we've built them in because we are limited for time, we can't get through everything. So we may answer some of the questions, but do keep them coming in. So we're live on Facebook. Welcome to all of our Facebook friends. So you're all very welcome. Please put down in the comments if you're on Facebook where you're joining us from today. And if you're live on the webinar, please just put any questions you have in there and we'll try and get to those and deal with those. So we're ready to kick off. So let us play now just a short video that represents some of Paulina's amazing work. So let's just welcome Paulina in. Paulina.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. You've been jet setting. You only got in at midnight last night.
Yes, I arrived at midnight last night from Hungary, so woke up 6 o'clock in the morning and already going.
You're busy. We're deeply honored to have you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for inviting.
And I know that all of the people who are our clients, all the people who are thinking of being our clients, they know who you are, they love your work, they see your achievements and everything else, and they just want to hear your story. That's what they want to do.
Oh, thank you.
So tell us a little bit about you as a person.
Okay, so I'm originally from Poland, and I moved to UK about 13 years ago. I am a mum of 3 wonderful children, aged 4, 8, and 10. I'm a full-time photographer, and also I am an educator.
Wow, it must be difficult to balance all those things when you've young children. I've young children as well. They're a bit older now, but it must be difficult sometimes to balance your work commitments and your education commitments and your photography commitments and your family commitments and do all that together.
Yes. People sometimes don't realize how difficult it is to do, trying to balance everything. But at the moment, I'm managing, but I hope next year it's going to be a bit easier. This year is absolutely crazy.
Very good, very good. So Paulina, tell us how you got started in the business. How did you get started?
I started by accident. It was exactly 4 years ago. 4 years ago, summertime, we were going on our first holiday to Poland, and my youngest one was 6 months old at the time, and I told my husband that I don't want to take any more pictures on a mobile. I would like to have a bit better quality pictures that I could print later on. And we decided to go and buy a camera. So we've purchased very like a cheap Nikon for 50 quid. And that's how I started. We went over to Poland. I was running like a paparazzi after my children. And when I came back to UK and I looked through the pictures, okay, they were not maybe the greatest one, but what was the most important for me is that the feeling I had inside, that I absolutely fell in love with taking pictures. And I started asking people around me, my friends, my family, if they would like me to take pictures of them so I could practice. Okay. And one day, 2 months after that, one lady called me and she said she knows I'm taking pictures and could she book a session with me? So yeah, that's how I started.
So it wasn't a big grand plan that you always had a desire to be a photographer, but you always had a like of art, right? I think you said that from a young child that, you know, you used to write poems and draw. So that creative piece was always there.
The creative piece, yes, was always there, but I've never ever thought I would become a photographer. Photography never existed in my life before. It literally appeared 4 years ago. So before that, I've never had a camera in my life. It was just my mom who sometimes was taking pictures, but maybe a couple of times during whole my life. So I've never thought I would actually become a photographer. It was more when I was younger. I was drawing and that kind of art, yeah. Yes.
So the first time you held then a professional camera is 5 years ago or thereabouts then?
No. The first time that I had like a professional camera was January 2015.
Wow.
So
wow.
3.5 years ago.
It shows what can be done, doesn't it? When you've got a passion and a dedication and wanting to achieve something that you can just go and make that happen. That's amazing.
Thank you.
So you're now an entrepreneur, right? Because you have your own business. So what do you like most about being an entrepreneur and having your own business?
Okay, so I'm running 2 businesses at the moment. One is the photography business that I'm taking pictures of my actual clients. And the other one is Fine Art Training Services Limited, when I teach people photography. So being an entrepreneur, for me, I think what I love the most about it, and it's not traveling, because it all sounds very glamorous, but it's not the traveling part, is to meet people who are inspired by me. I mean, I've received lots of messages from all over the countries, and they really want to meet me to show them that it is possible to run a business and be mum and achieve something and follow the dreams. So meeting those people, showing them that it's possible, teaching them what I do, and also maybe opening a new gates for them. This is the most amazing for me.
Wow. So when you think about success, Paulina, what's the end goal? When do you feel that, yes, I've made it? Is it a desire to retire early? Is it a desire to provide better for your family? Is it, when do you think that, yes, I've nailed it, I've absolutely achieved what I set out to do?
Well, I don't think that's ever going to happen, that I'm going to sit down and I'm just going to say, well, yes, I've achieved everything what I wanted, because it comes like, if I achieve something, I want more and more, but in a good sense of it. I mean, definitely the future of my children is the most important for me, so I'm mainly doing all of that for them, but also for myself, to be able to tell at the end of my days that I've done something and I'm happy from my life. And the success itself, I think it's being free in what you do, that you wake up in the morning and you are happy to go to work, you're happy to go to your workplace, you are happy. I think that's a success, being happy.
I absolutely agree, Paulina. I think when you're happy, it's not work, right? It doesn't feel like work. It doesn't get in the way of it. You just enjoy getting up every day and you know what you're going to do each day.
Yeah, exactly. When it's everything. I mean, being able to do what you love and wake up and go back to bed, feeling fulfilled is the most incredible feeling.
And I see behind you, Paulina, that you're running out of space there in your trophy cabinet for all these international awards you're winning. It's rapidly filling up. I think you're going to have to get a second one. But you've won, and I know when we've talked before, you say, I actually don't shoot to win awards, that they just come from the photography you create. But some of them have to be more special than others, perhaps. Is there any particular award that has stood out for you, that one is really, really special?
I think they are all as equally important for me, because some of them were given me for totally different things. Like, one is for storytelling, the other one is for the quality of light. Then it's more like outdoor story as well. It's all of them are given me for different reasons. So I don't think it's possible for me to choose which one is the most important. Also, some of them were given me a year ago and some of them recently. And a year ago, when I received my first one, I felt exactly the same, as happy as the last one. So it's, I'm really proud and honored for all of them.
It's an amazing achievement, Paulina.
Thank you.
And Paulina, you describe yourself as a fine art portrait photographer, right?
Yes.
And so in deciding to specialize in that, was there a particular moment in time, an aha moment that you said, oh, that's my genre, that's what I want to do? Or how did that come about? How did that evolve?
Okay. So first of all, I think we need to define what fine art is. Because I think for some people, fine art is only that they can see on my pictures, like a backdrop with the texture and just the post children, which is not. The fine art style is the who I am as a photographer. So from the moment that I said that I'm going to be showing what is in my heart and design and create the picture, this is the fine art. Because you can define art from still life, you can define art traveling photography, you can define art fashion, all sorts of fine art. It's just who you are as a photographer and what you want to show the people. Yeah. So I wanted to do that since the beginning when I started, but I wasn't ready. And my biggest mistake was that I was showing it to people who were not appreciating it and who were dragging me down instead of pushing me up, who are telling me, this is wrong, this is not what you should be doing, this is sad kids, and this is not what clients want. If you want to build your business, you need to do what is desired on the market. And I just pushed it away because I thought, well, maybe they are right. I'm just at the beginning of my photography. So I'm just going to be doing what clients want me to do. So I went totally in the opposite direction and I got lost. And slowly, when I started getting better and better, the desire to show that came back. And at that point, I said, no, I think I'm ready. I don't care what other people are going to tell me to do. I just want to show people what I've got in my head and what I want them to see. And from that point, when I stepped up and I said, this is who I am, it all changed.
So when you see a client then, or you see a client for the first time and you're doing that consultation, do you have a picture in your head as to how you're going to photograph them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because when I've got a client, I see them before the shoot, okay. Which means I've always asked them to send me the pictures, and I need to have the session ready beforehand. So to be honest, there are two options. Some of my clients, they want to get ready themselves, so I'm helping them through that, and they are designing clothes themselves. They are asking the designers, and they just sending me the pictures, and we just creating it together. Or they fully trust me, and I get ready everything for them. But I see them beforehand, so I know exactly how they look like when they come to me.
Okay, and do you get nervous before a shoot? Do you ever feel butterflies in your stomach, as I would say, before a shoot? Or?
Okay, before the shoot, not anymore, because I'm in my comfort zone and I know what I'm doing. But I feel very nervous before the webinars, you know.
Okay. And do you have a particular workflow that you follow then while you're doing the shoot? Is there a particular setup that you work to all the time, or would you alter that setup depending on what's happening within the shoot? Or
no, the setup is always the same. It's always the same for the client, because I know my clients are coming for the things they've seen already on my website. So I cannot experiment unless they really, really want me to create something crazy. But normally they are hiring me to do something that I've already done before. So I always got the same workflow, and I try to be very clear and about that. So I'm not going to do any mistakes, because I cannot do any mistakes, you know. Everything needs to be properly done. So I try to have the same workflow with each session. Okay.
And do you have a set number of photos you take of a particular client, or how do you determine how many you're going to shoot? Do you shoot a high volume or a smaller volume, or?
Never high volume. It depends what my client wants, to be honest. That's why we've got the consultation beforehand. If they want to get just a couple of prints, obviously the session is going to be slightly shorter, and these images are going to be about maybe 20 altogether during the session. But if they would like to get a full gallery with the wall arts and the folio books from you, then these images, I would go no more than 50 probably. So for me, the preparation for the shot is the most important part. I might take 15 minutes for the preparation and then just press the shutter speed once. Okay. So at the end of the session, if they want the full gallery of 20 images, 20 prints, I will end up with no more than 50 raw images.
Okay, very good. So we have a couple of questions in that have come in advance of the interview. That there was a whole lot of photographers sent us in questions that they wanted me to ask. So I'll just ask a couple of those if I can. And one of them was around, and I think you've tipped on this a little bit, but just go into a little more detail. With regards to clothes, so a lot of the photographs that we see that you've taken, and the clothes are quite different, and I'm not sure the exact word for it, but ornate, or they're a different type of fashion. Do you provide clothes to your clients, or do the clients pretty much bring their own clothes?
Okay, so I do have loads of dresses, and it depends what kind of session it is. If I've got just a girl, or mother and a daughter session, then I might provide everything. If I'm going to have the full family come in for the session, obviously I cannot dress all of them. So they will have to bring their clothes with them. But recently, to be honest, loads of my clients, they want to design the dresses for the session themselves as well. So they are coming with the sets of clothes, but obviously everything is stocked with, arranged with me beforehand. So I know what they're bringing.
And do they ask your advice? Do they ask your advice on what clothes might suit, or do they show you pictures of what do you think of this, or is that all part of the consultation process?
Yes. We'll go the consultation a couple of weeks before the session, and the pictures, and we're talking about the color palette, if it's going to work together. So everything is nicely discussed. But as I said, if the client doesn't have anything and they want me to provide, I'm happy to do the shopping as well.
Okay.
So I might purchase the dresses for the session, for particular session as well. But I will need to know if they're going to go for the full session or just a couple of prints, because obviously I need to know that as well.
Yes, and do you bill those extra? Are they extra charges, or do they go for certain packages that you will do that work, or how do you work through that?
Okay, so I've got only 2 packages. When I started photography, it was completely different. I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I had lots of different options packages from 5. Then I changed it to 3. And now I'm really happy with my 2 packages. One is basic, one is VIP, and it exactly shows to my clients where they want to go. Either the couple of prints and the basic, or for everything, and they're going to go through the VIP package. So only 2 options, and it's working for me perfectly.
Okay, and what about hair and makeup then?
Okay, so makeup, I don't do makeup for children below 16 years old. I feel and I think from my practice they are beautiful enough. They've got no skin conditions, so there is no point. And for mothers and above 16, the makeup is provided and it's included in the package, so they've got no option. They have to have it. And the hair, I do hair myself.
Okay, very good. So we had a question from a photographer saying, when you're styling a subject, what are you looking for? What are you looking for to figure out how you're going to style them? Okay,
so definitely for the hair color, eye color, and skin. So I would not use the same clothing for brunette with the brown eyes and blonde with the blue eyes. So I need to know that. That's why I asked for the pictures before the session. Then the silhouette. Yes, I need to know, obviously, the lady size 8 is going to look different with the dresses than the lady size 12 or 14 or 16. So I need to know how they look, how they present, how they build, what body shape they've got, what if they've got the long hair or short hair, how many hairstyles I need to provide. So yeah, overall appearance, it's very important. And then I might prepare a couple of accessories or setups during the session. And during the session, I find out how flexible they are, how confident they are, how they are good with the hands positioning, and that will determine, how the session is going to go.
Right. So when I see your photography and I see them and I feel that I connect with the person, and I think it's because of the eyes, that you just connect with the person's eyes. Some people say you can understand a human by just connecting with those eyes. And a photographer has also said about that with the younger children, that you get that neutral expression. And they're asking, how do you create that neutral expression in people who are so young?
This is something that is very hard to describe. I think it will come from inside the photographer. As a photographer, you just need to know when to press the shutter speed. So during my session, I just look at the eyes. This is the most important part for me. So I need to create a very specific atmosphere. I need to talk to them. I need to create the mood, the zone that they just go in and they float away. You know, when you've got this moment that you're just looking, staring at one place, but your mind is somewhere totally else. So this is kind of this moment. And I just tell them to sit down or, you know, stand and look at me. And we just connected through the camera. Very hard to explain, but it is achievable, but it needs to come from the heart.
It has to come from in here. So
Yeah.
we've had some questions then around what cameras and lenses and lighting you use. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Okay, so I'm a Nikon user, and at the moment I've got a Nikon 810 and Nikon D5. I had a very short period of my life when I was using Sony, but I could not handle two different brands. So I gave away Sony and I stayed with Nikon. And in terms of lenses, my favorite is Sigma Art 35, and I absolutely love this lens. I know there is lots of rumors that they just lose the focus or you need to calibrate them. I was very lucky. I've never had any problems with my Sigma, so I will stay truthful to this lens. It's amazing. And the other one is Nikon 105. 1.4. So these two are my two most favorite lenses. They are on two different bodies, the camera bodies, so I can use them all the time. You know, I don't need to switch, so this is very convenient for me. And I'm a typical prime girl. I mean, I use only prime lenses. I don't use zooms at all. I don't like them.
Excellent. So with regards imagery touching then and editing, do you do all that yourself or do you outsource some of it, or what do you do there?
Retouching is only mine. I could not let anyone to retouch my images because, as I said, I consider it as my art, my fine art, and this is my final stamp on the picture. Even during the workshops, I explain, you know, to create a perfect image, you need to have a good lighting, styling, colors, posing, all sorts of, and the editing is the very bottom, but it's the final step that is, it will allow people to see that it's your picture. So if it's only me who knows how this picture should look as a finished product. When I've got idea in my head, I need to finish this idea. So I cannot outsource it. It would not be my finished product. Yes. So I love it. It's my relaxing bit. I like editing. I love editing. So I could never ask anyone to do that for me.
So the other question we had then, you're flying all over the world delivering workshops, and I know you have a particular way about going your workshops, that you like to keep the numbers small in the workshops, and you know, 10, 11 people, so you can connect better with those people. We've talked about this before, but somebody has just asked, have you ever considered sort of building your training into an online module for online workshops, or is that on the agenda at all?
Okay, so the reason I've got 10 people on the workshops is purely because I'm teaching the studio light as well. And each of my participants, they've got the time to take the pictures during this workshop. So if I had 20 people, there would not be enough time, and the model would probably pass from the standing in the same pose for like hours. So the 10 people is like a maximum, and the models can still handle it. It's also helping us to, you know, build these relationships. And in terms of online teaching, I'm not ready yet, and I haven't considered that yet, because I feel it's very important to be able to connect with your mentor and to see everything in person. So I've got a lot of people asking me to just give them editing tips or teach them how I edit. But there is so much into this picture that editing is not everything. So you need to say it from the beginning, from the process of creating it to the final step, to be able to do that later. Editing is not everything. So at the moment, in that time, no online workshops, no.
Okay. So what are the plans then for the next 12 months? I know you're moving rapidly and you're going at, jet speed, but have you a plan for the next 12 months as to what you'd like to do?
Okay, so definitely I want to balance my work life and family life better. So this year was absolutely crazy, and it's just very hard work. So now me and my assistant, we are in the process of building the whole 12 months of workshops for next year that we will announce in September. And it will be less workshops for probably even less people, but they're going to be amazing and totally different than from this year. So I would rather people to come to me for one-to-one in-person workshops than me traveling to everywhere. So definitely the amount of the workshops will be reduced. It's not going to be as many as this year. I want to give it more to my family.
So you have a one-to-one mentorship program as well available? Is that
Yes.
And where would people find out about that? Is it all on your website?
Oh yes, it's on my website, or just send me an email and Ellie will respond straight away. So you can get the information very fast. But definitely the amount of the workshops is going to be reduced. But because that's what's happening this year is just crazy. And the other plans, see, it's very difficult to have plans because everything changes from month to month. And I'm quite an organized person. So we'll see. I've got some ideas in my head and some amazing projects coming on that might surprise a lot of people. It's going to be something totally different, but I cannot tell about it yet. It's going to be surprise.
Very good. And I know people will be amazed when they find out about it. So your ultimate objective then, what's your ultimate objective? What would you really like to do?
This is the hardest question. I don't know. I've never had anything like that. It's just like I just love taking pictures, and what's gonna come from it, we will see. I cannot say what is my ultimate objective. I live day by day, so it's very hard to say.
Well, Winston Churchill used to say, success is not final. So I think, I think you said this a little bit earlier, once you get to a certain step, you want to go to the next one and the next one and the next one. And that's where that's.
Yes. So for me, there is no ultimate objective at this moment because it's just the long way and it changes all the time.
So I'm sure there's people who are watching this who are figuring out what they're going to do with their business, or they're considering starting in professional photography. If you were to give them one piece of advice, what would that be?
Don't try to be someone else, and don't try to please other people. I think we sometimes forget that we decided to be photographers to do what we love. And if we are stuck with delivering, pleasing other people, we are losing it. We are getting back to working like in a factory. So try to do what you really love doing. I know it's very difficult to find out what you really love doing, but definitely don't please others, especially don't please other photographers. Just focus on your business, focus on your own goals, focus on what you want to achieve, and put all that energy into your business. Don't look at others, because others they having their own life, they having their own businesses, and no point losing energy on looking at others. Yeah. So put all of that into just you.
That's great advice, Paulina. Paulina, how did you hear about 3XM first?
Ha.
Oh, yeah.
I found you on a trade show.
Okay.
It was, I think it was 2 years or 3 years ago. It was a Birmingham trade show.
Okay.
And EEC.
Yes.
So I was going over there, and someone told me about you, and I went to the your exhibit, your place,
Yes.
and I spotted your new product, the champagne folio boxes. It was just launched that time.
Okay.
So it was like first 2 weeks of it, and it was standing there in the middle of your presentation, shining. And I went there, I started, touching it. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is absolutely beautiful. This is like what I would like to incorporate into my packages, so I can give it to my customers, because it's absolutely wonderful. And then, I started following you, and then you started following me.
Very good. So, I know that people are knocking your door down to try and do some work with you, and we've done a good bit of work together so far, and we've got your opinion on things, and you've asked our opinion on a few things and that. But why did you choose to be an ambassador for 3XN?
Because I just love your products, and you love the customer service, I love the connection, the help. Every time when I've asked for something, it was just given straight away. The answers were clear, and the shipment, the process of the order is so quick. And sometimes it's very difficult to get it from, the brands in UK. And to get a product within a couple of days from Ireland is amazing. So the speedy delivery, the customer service, very clear response, amazing products, good quality. I could just go on,
Thank you for that, Paulina. We're absolutely honored. I think we have some questions that are coming in, Paulina. And let me just put on my glasses. I'm getting older, so I can't see now without my glasses. So do you do in-person sales with a reveal?
Yes, but it all depends what package the customer will choose.
Sign up for, yes. So they sign up in advance whether it's going to be a full reveal or not, depending on the two packages.
Exactly, because I've got clients who would like to go just for a couple of prints. So for me, if someone is going to go for the basic package, there is no point to create more. I know I could upsell, but I don't have a time to focus on that at the moment. So I do reveal wall for the people who are going for the full package VIP.
Okay, and is there a shoot time difference between the two packages?
Yes.
Okay.
For the basic is 2 hours, for the VIP is 4 hours. So there is a price difference. Of course, it's not going to be like they're going to come and I'm going to set up an alarm, and after 2 hours, I'm just going to say, sorry, I'm off, go. No. But if I need just a couple of pictures, obviously the time is going to be less than 4 hours.
Okay. And Anna asks, can you give the best marketing tips for people who are on the beginning of their photographic journey? Thank you. Wow, that's a big question.
Marketing tip. Oh
yeah,
gosh, marketing
tip.
Marketing is so big. I don't think there is one answer to it. I think it's to show your work. Like, don't hide it. Be consistent in showing your work first. Obviously, for example, SEO and a website is also extremely important. So to build the website and take it on a Google, this is extremely important for the business, because a lot of photographers forget about it. They are only focused on social media part, like Facebook. but they forget, or Instagram, but they forget that there is also a website that takes you on a Google, and it's very important, because good customers, they search you on a Google, they don't go on a website, on a Facebook, sorry. So this is a good marketing tip, but also, show work, a bit story behind this work, and be consistent, I think.
It's funny you should mention the Google and Facebook and having to do more than one thing. And tomorrow's post on 3XM Insiders is about combining Google with Facebook campaigns and the need for Google, and just things that you can use and tools within Google to try and figure out for your genre of photography in your area how that works. So good tip there. We're on the same wavelength on that one.
That's it.
Gary asks to arrange a one-to-one. So I think we've answered this already, that they can contact you. They can make contact via either Facebook or your website. Is that right? If they want
think website, please. My email, contact@paulinaduczman.com. I don't follow Facebook that much. I've got automatic message on Facebook that I'm not able to answer. So please follow my website. So even if he's going to contact me from Facebook, it will send him to the website. Yeah.
So guys, you've heard it. If you want an answer, go straight to the website if you want an answer quickly, because Paulina's.
Definitely. The Facebook is not my landing page. I don't put attention towards Facebook.
Okay. And another question we have then is, do you have a YouTube channel?
No, because I'm very shy. And every time when I speak like that, I don't think YouTube will be good for me. I rather speak through my images than speak, via YouTube channel.
And we have a question from Ingrid. What is your focus point, folio boxes or wall art? And I think if we look at your packages, you've done what most good photographers are now doing, or great photographers, is they're combining both. So your top package has both folio box and the piece of wall art included, right?
Yes, definitely. Both are extremely important. First of all, I really focus on the finished product. I don't sell only digitals. My customer is not going to be able to go home only with the digital. They will have to purchase print or wall art first, and then they're going to get the digital. Yes, okay. But yeah.
No, sorry, I was going to ask. So they get a digital file with everything they buy in print, or can they buy a piece of wall art but then add a digital package, or how do you structure that?
Yeah, I mean, they buy either wall art or print or this package, because they can customize their package via a la carte. I've got that as well. It's not available on my website because I think that the package is much more, it's valuable if you go for the packages in a la carte. But I've got the customers who just come to me and they say, Paulina, I just want a free wall arts. So I will shoot just for 3 wall arts, and they will get these digitals additionally. Like for me, digital is no value. So I will send them wall arts, sell them wall arts, and they will get digital. But equally, folio box and wall arts are on the same, same level with me. I could not say which one is the most important, because some people, they will only put the wall arts on the wall, and some will take all the prints from the folio box, frame them as well, exactly, and put them on the wall, or keep them in a folio box to, look through them. So we've got such a big variety of the people.
So Paulina, thank you for that. And Paul asks, he wants to know, what's the one reason your customers give you for booking your style of photography? Is there one reason that they give to say, I've chosen you as the photographer and your style of photography because?
What is the reason?
It's a difficult one to answer, isn't it?
I think if they book me, that means because they like me. That could be the reason. Was that the question? What is the reason why they booking me? We would need to ask them. I think they want to have something unique. You need to have a certain type. How to explain it? I'm not going to market everyone. I'm not going to get to everyone. I am very niche photographer, and not everyone will book me. You need to like specific things, you need to like mood, you need to like those colors, and you need to have a certain type of house to fit those images in. So my marketing is very difficult. I don't get to a lot of people. I'm not very commercial photographer. So those people who are booking me, they probably looking for something different. That's maybe how I would explain.
Okay, and Jen says that Pinterest is excellent. Do you use Pinterest, or do you have a Pinterest board? Or?
I do have Pinterest. I love Pinterest. I love scrolling through the Pinterest. It helps me. It helped me a lot of time. It's inspirational. Absolutely, yes. And I also advise a lot of people to, if they don't know what style photography they would like to do, is go for the Pinterest and pin posts that to a special board that it inspire you, you know, that brings your attention. And then in a couple of months, look at this board and you're gonna see what is in there that inspires you, what you like the most, and maybe you will be able to figure out what is your path in photography.
I have two questions on lighting, Paulina, that have come in, one from Ingrid and one from Robert. Ingrid wants to know, do you use natural light in your lighting? And Robert wants to know, do you use a one light setup as well?
I use only one light setup. I don't use more than one light because I don't need it. I know that photographers, they use 2, 3, 4 lights. You know, it's absolutely fine. It's their style. I'm more about this old Dutch masters style, and they've never used rim light. So to create the mood that I've got on my pictures, one light is absolutely enough and allows me to focus only on my clients. I don't overpower them with, you know, amount of the lights around them. And also during the session, I use both studio and natural light. I equally like both, but for example, I will never convert natural light within a studio. I will never convert natural light into the black and white image. My all black and white images in the studio are done with the studio light. So it's more about what I like and, you know, what works better for me. And what brand I use: Profoto and D2 light.
Excellent. Thank you for that, Paulina. Paulina, just one more question, because we know you're really tight for time and you have a really busy schedule. Andres wants to know, what did he say? He wants to know, where do you get your inspiration from? And I think you mentioned there a minute ago about the Dutch masters. Is that where you get your inspiration from?
You know, the inspiration comes from everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. I could not say from which place only. I take inspiration from music. I take inspiration from everyday life. I take inspiration from advertisement, from books, from everywhere. So it's just, you need to have the eyes open. You know, who knows me to know that when I'm driving and I'm always looking around to see, you know, the spots, the places, the locations, the colors, or posing even, you know, it's everywhere. The word is inspirational.
Paulina, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. It's an amazing story. You're an amazing person, amazing photographer, and we wish you absolutely the best with the rest of your career and all your plans and aspirations. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me.
Okay, guys, that's the end of this webinar. We hope you've enjoyed it. You can see a replay at any time by going to our website or on our 3XM solution page. You can see us there. Please do consider joining us on 3XM Insiders, where we share business, marketing, and sales tips on a daily basis. So join the community in there. We can all learn from each other, because our motto is, we're better together. Thank you so much. Bye, everybody.